what are we going to do about South Africa as part of AGOA?
Well,
I mean, South Africa is clearly not America's friend.
That's correct. We've had some conversations with the South Africans when it comes to trade, and again, there are a lot of kind of foreign policy issues that I don't get into with South Africa, but when it comes to trade, they have a lot of barriers, not just tariffs, but non-tariff barriers, et cetera. We've made clear to the South Africans that if they ever want to have a better tariff situation with us, they need to take care of these tariffs and non-tariff barriers. They're a real economy, they're a big economy, right? They have an industrial base, they have an agricultural base, they should be buying things from the United States.
But if you extend AGOA for 1 year without reforming it, that's going to benefit South Africa, right?
It could. I would say we have a 30% reciprocal tariff on South Africa right now, which is much higher than the rest of the continent. So we'll control for it a little bit. But I think South Africa is a unique case. I agree with you, if that's your point.
Don't you think we ought to separate South Africa and AGOA?
I'm happy to consider that, right? Congress has come to me and said, we want AGOA. And I think if we're going to have a giveaway, we need to figure out how to improve it. If you think that we should give South Africa different treatment, I'm open to that because I think they are a unique problem.
Well, they're a unique problem for America.
Correct.
They're not. They're our enemy right now. They're buddies with all of our enemies, and they've been very critical of the United States.
That's exactly right, and that's why they're actually treated in a much different way. Most of the African continent, sub-Saharan Africa, has just a 10% tariff, and South Africa has a 30%.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to Willie Doki Stories. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, because here is where we break down the things people are very, very afraid to talk about. No, folks, it has come to our attention that white South Africans are calling black Americans for help. Imagine leaving the country your ancestors fought to build, not because of war, not because of poverty, but only because of politics. Right now, folks, something very unusual is happening. Some white South Africans are openly saying they feel unwelcome in their own country. And in a strange twist, a few voices online are now calling on black Americans for help. They challenge policies linked to Donald Trump and the US immigration debates. But here's the shock, folks. Some of them are saying they might want to go home to America, home to America. Yes, you heard that very right. But that raises a very, very big question. How can you go home to a country your family hasn't even lived for generations? How? And why are black Americans suddenly part of these conversations? So folks, let's watch this and maybe we'll understand what's really going on.
We will peacefully ask you to please leave the chamber.
Yes, I'm going to do exactly that. All I'm saying is that you are so prepared to chase people who violate the rules and keep a man who violate the Constitution.
Honorable Malema,
you are prepared to chase out
Honorable
people
Malema,
who are protecting the Constitution
please
in the name of the rules.
Leave the
if
chamber.
there is anyone who must leave,
Honorable Malema, leave the chamber.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm elected here.
We will assist you to go.
Wait.
We will assist you to go.
Wait.
Because one thing
we would like you to assist us.
That's exactly what made you not to be a candidate of the Women's League. Exactly that. Your conduct has failed you to be a candidate for president because you are irrational, you are impatient, you are partisan. Even your own people have dumped you. After they told you are their candidate, you went home to do telling ancestors you are going to be a president. After that, they dumped you because of this conduct. Exactly this conduct. How do you chase
Honorable-
us for breaking the rules
Honorable
and you are
Malema,
not chasing a man
point of
who
order.
has
Honorable
broken
Malema,
his
we are not
oath
going
of
to be
office,
abused
his
by you.
constitution? We are abused by Zuma here.
We are not going to
We are
allow
abused
you
by Zuma.
to abuse us the whole night.
No, we are abused by Zuma. You are scared of Zuma. He used you, he dumped you. He used you and promised you that you are going to be a president. And you went home, you slaughtered a cow.
On a
He
point
dumped
of
you.
order.
He dumped you. We are abused by Zuma here.
Honorable Malema, please
can do
leave the
anything.
house. Honorable Malema,
If you want to
leave
kill
the
us,
house.
kill us now.
May I
You
ask
can call soldiers to come and
the
kill us
sergeant
now.
at arms to please escort Honorable
Call
Malema
soldiers
out
to
of
come
the
and kill
house.
us now. We are not going to be addressed by criminals. Go and address prisoners, not members of parliament.
Back to me,
Bloody
Landa.
Kruku Gwen.
Good day, President Trump. My name is Jason Bartlett, and I'm a white South African living in your beautiful country of America. And you and I, sir, have some unfinished business. So I trust that you will be getting this message shortly, and I'm sure you know a lot about it already. President Trump, in 2020, on the 1st of January, I started walking from Austin, Texas to the White House, and I completed my mission. However, my mission was to sit down and talk to you about the farm murders and the brutal killings of white people in South Africa. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic of COVID, I was unable to meet with you, sir. So, seeing though my people in South Africa do not have a face or a voice, I'd like to reinitiate our meeting, sir. I would like to come and see you at the White House. I'd like to talk to you and possibly Elon Musk about our atrocities happening to us. And I know you've signed an executive order for white Afrikaners to come to South Africa on refugee status. And not only do I want to thank you in person and take my hat off to you, I want to sit down and talk to you and establish a plan how to resettle the Afrikaner in America so that we can make the agricultural sector of America great again. America has its issues, and we as the white farmers and the white people of South Africa would like to help make America great again, from the bottom all the way to the top. We're here to support you, and we are here to encourage you, and as a world leader, we look up to you, sir. So thank you very much to everybody that's supported us. Help us get this message to President Donald Trump, and hopefully shortly I will be sitting in the White House talking to President Donald Trump and creating a fundamental plan to resettle the Afrikaner in America, where we can keep the language of Afrikaans, celebrate the freedoms that we will have, as well as making America great again, including the agricultural sector. God bless, and see you soon.
Elon is over in South Africa, threatening Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, and telling him, we are coming in here, I'm going to create a whole battery factory. But you guys work to get something, I believe in your constitution, that says that the black South Africans and people who we fought for to get rid of apartheid now can have 30% in all of the foreign businesses that come in. Elon Musk said, I'm going to build a battery factory. I want you to get rid of that 30%. And so we said no. And so I've talked with the ambassador from South Africa. They're fighting, they're struggling. But guess what happened? Trump announced that they're going to get rid of all the foreign aid if he doesn't do it.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South African occupy land. That's who we are. Honorable members, what to do? I can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Mr. Donald Trump, let you be aware that Nigeria is not Vietnam. Nigeria is not Afghanistan. Nigeria is not Iraq. Nigeria is not Iran. Nigeria is not Venezuela. If you attempt to encourage and make aggression and send your armed forces to Nigeria to wage war, is an unscrupulousness. But be aware that our mosquitoes, they are waiting for your soldiers to bite them and infect them with malaria fever to die instantly.